Have you ever had an idea or a project that went over like a lead balloon? I certainly have. Well, how do you use things that go over like a lead balloon to grow and supersize and build your business? Well, in several ways. Let's talk about where this idiom comes from, how long it's been around, and then how you can use it in your business today. I'm going to put the lead balloon down because it's a little heavy. So a lead balloon, it's kind of an oxymoron, right? If you fill a balloon with air or helium, it floats and it does the things we expect a balloon to do. If you had lead in a balloon or weights in a balloon like you do in this actual 1 pound weight, it's heavy and you can use it for different things, but it's definitely not going to float around in the air. So how and where did this idiom come from? First appeared in a cartoon in an American newspaper in 1924, but didn't really catch on. It didn't really catch on until after World War II and in the 1950s. It caught on and became popular because people started using it to describe ideas or things or failures, right? It was another way to describe a failure. If you had an idea or if you put forth a project or a product or service that people didn't buy, that they didn't take to, that they didn't like, or that they didn't love, it was considered a failure, and a failure was going over like a lead balloon. How many of us haven't had an idea or a product or a service or made a comment that went over like a lead balloon? I am one of those people that does not tell jokes, because whenever I do, my timing's off or I forget the punchline or something. So if I try to tell a joke, it goes over like a lead balloon. My sister, my youngest sister, on the other hand, has incredible timing. She is witty and amazing and actually has us rolling so often because she just has a way of delivering messages and information and lines and timing and jokes. And so she's very funny. She's very comedic. So if I tell the same joke that she may have told me or the same story, she'll do it and get a ton of laughs. I would tell it and it would go over like a lead balloon. So what does this have to do with our businesses and how we grow our businesses? Well, several things. If we want to be like everybody else in our business, if we're just in a Me Too business and we're chugging along, kind of like we do in different periods of our life, where everything seems to be going pretty smoothly, not during the pandemic, of course, but we're just chugging along and everything's fine. We just keep doing the same things over and over again. That's awesome. That's okay for some people, but not for business owners. If we have our own business and we've stepped out of the norm of being an employee and started our own business, we generally want it to grow and support our life and create the life we want and usually make the world a better place. So doing the same old thing as everybody else does, having the same ideas, being milquetoast. I used to always be afraid of being milquetoast. People would say, "Oh, you're such a milquetoast." I'm like, what even is a milquetoast? But it's kind of the same thing. If we just do what everybody else is doing, we're not going to stand out. And if we don't stand out and if people don't notice it, our businesses will probably shrivel and die. Pandemic or not, we'll struggle. So I always like to measure if I'm not at least on some frequency putting forth an idea or a product or a service that bombs, that doesn't succeed, doesn't turn out the way I expected it to, because I always expect they're going to turn out great, right? I always expect everything I'm going to try is going to be a great success. But if everything is, then I know I'm not stepping out of my comfort zone enough. I'm not pushing the envelope of what we're capable of in terms of serving the people that I'm here to serve better, that we're here to serve better. And so, it's kind of like if you're not failing, you're not growing. If you're not growing, are you really succeeding? And it's for you to decide in what you want your business to be about. But for the most part, if we want to stand out, if we want to lead our industry and our business and our families and our organizations, it means sometimes we're going to have ideas that people scoff at, that people make fun of us, that people laugh right in our face at. Doesn't mean it's the wrong idea. It just means they don't see the vision that we do in terms of how to present it. It also is a good reminder that just because we try something once doesn't mean it's a bad idea or a failure. In my Italian food manufacturing business, I would get a bee in my bonnet every once in a while. For the most part, over the decades in that particular business, our core flavors for ravioli were cheese ravioli with 4 different cheeses in it and meat ravioli, which meant it was just our cheese ravioli with extra lean ground beef in it. I mean, that was our big secret. So, and we had a couple other ingredients, but we had the 2 main core flavors. And every once in a while, I would get bored with that and I would want to experiment with different flavors. And so I experimented with some flavors that were awesome and people loved, and I experimented with some that only I would consume because nobody else would eat them. I remember we did a mushroom ravioli that was pretty well received, but mushrooms aren't something that a lot of people love. We also did I did a chocolate ravioli with caramel inside. It was yummy. I did some dessert raviolis that were, was so received, but our core products and services were always the main. We had 7 core products in the business, but I would always try to play with different things. And some of them would absolutely bomb. I made deer ravioli, I made venison ravioli, I made goose ravioli, I made duck ravioli, because my family was big hunters and fishermen. I never tried fish ravioli. Seafood, yes. Fish, no. Pumpkin ravioli, all kinds of vegetables, all kinds of seasoning. Every once in a while I would try one. And some of them would absolutely bomb and not sell. Others would sell like gangbusters. And sometimes we'd add temporary products to our product line, but for the most part, our core values. But if I hadn't been trying those different flavors and varieties, I would have never known what else was possible in the business. So I would love to know, have you ever done anything or had an idea or, put forth an effort that just bombed and went over like a lead balloon? Share in the comments below so I know I'm not alone. That's our idiom for today. If you have any questions, or if you have an idiom you'd like to know the origin of and the meaning and how might it apply to your business, hit me up with that in the comments below as well. Otherwise, go out and have an absolutely amazing day, and I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it to grow and supersize your business too?